What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I picked up me a new mower. You guys that watch the channel know my old mower was on its last leg. I had to work on it several times. It got to the point where I was working on it more than I was actually using it, so I decided to go ahead and get a new one. I looked around at some different brands, and it was kind of in between this here and a Skag, and I don't really have any Skag dealers around that really had anything in stock. There's a few dealers that claim they're a Skag dealer if you look it up on the internet, which they can get parts for Skag and stuff, but they don't really have any that you can go like test out, look at, you know, that you could actually purchase without ordering it through them or whatnot. And I didn't want to do that, so I went to the John Deere dealer, and they had ordered a lot of these commercial mowers. They didn't have any residential mowers, which wasn't what I was looking for anyway. I was looking for a commercial mower, even though my yard is really technically, I could get by with a little homeowner unit for the time being, but I eventually want to upgrade to a different property with some more land and stuff, and figure might as well buy once, cry once, right? And so I went with the Z960M. For those of you guys who don't know, the Z900 line, Ztrak line, is John Deere's full commercial mower, and from what I read, everybody says that the Skag Velocity deck and the John Deere Pro deck are the two top decks for long grass. We have a lot of bahia in Louisiana where I live. It's long, steamy grass. A lot of mowers struggle with cutting it, and so that was the two top mowers. As I say, I had John Deere dealer, and I picked this thing up. I went with the Tweels because that's what they had on this model. The Z900, they make a 920, a 930, a 950, and a 960 in the M series. If you move to the R series, the difference in the R series is you have a hydraulic deck lift on your handles up there, where the M series has a foot pedal, which is what I prefer anyway. I could see if you had bad knees or when you get on up in age where the hydraulic deck lift would be a nice option, but for my purpose, I think I prefer the foot lift, at least for now, because the R series I think is about another $3,000, $3,500 option. So anyway, I didn't think I needed that, but I did go with the Tweels because that's the way they had this one. They had the 920, the 930, and the 950, I think, without the Tweels. The difference in those is it's all the same thing except for the engine. I think the 920 has like a 23.5 horse, something like that. The 930, which is most common, seems like the ones they stock the most, is the 24.5 horse. The 950 is a 27 horse. The only difference in the engines on the 930 and 950, I think, is just in the carburetor. It's the same cubic inch. It's a Kawasaki engine. The 960, you jump to the 31 horse. It's a big block Kawasaki engine on it, and it is the same thing as the 35 horse Kawasaki. It's the same cubic inch big block engine, 999 cc, and the only difference in it again is in the carburetor. I think with the throttle shaft, they're not opening the butterflies all the way up on the 31 horse, so it's a little bit derated, but you still have almost the same level of torque. I've used this machine about 2 hours. I was not sure about the Tweels originally because those Tweels are like an extra $1,000 for those, but I've used this thing about 2 hours. It had 1/10 of an hour on it when I got it. It's got like 2.3 or 4 on it now, and I have not got any good footage of cutting grass with it yet because my yard looks like this. I got more rocks than I do grass, but the grass does come up. It's tall and stemmy, and it looks like a dirt hurricane whenever you try to mow this out here. So I'm gonna take this thing over probably to my parents' house. They have a really thick grass that is you know, without all this rocks and dirt and stuff, that'll probably make a good mowing video. When I get in my yard and start mowing, you can't even see the mower. It's so dusty out here, and as I say, the grass is not very thick. You can't tell much about it, but I'm gonna carry it over there and get some good footage for you guys, see how it cuts, for you guys to see how it cuts. So far, I am very impressed with it. These do not have a fuel tank on each side. It's only one fuel tank. I forget, it's about a 10 or 11 gallon, something like that. They filled it up with fuel for me, and I've got 2 hours, still got 3/4 of a tank, so I'm pretty sure you could all day. So far, the Tweels, they have more traction, seem to me like, than the regular turf tires, because what I was going to do is, if they didn't have this spec the way it was, I was thinking about getting a 960 because I wanted the bigger engine. In my opinion, you know, going with the bigger engine is better. Not that the small engine won't cut it, but if you're on a smooth place, I wanted to be able to, you know, to cut at top speed or close to top speed, whatever conditions would allow it. I wanted to have the power to do so. And I was going to get the regular turf tires and swap them out with bar tires like I had on my last mower, because the turf tires don't give good traction. But the way that they had this mower here stocked was with the Tweels, and he told me that they could, you know, reduce the price a little bit and swap them out and this and that and other. And I got to thinking about it and looking at them and not having any flats and stuff. And I said, well, I'll go ahead and get that and try it. This mower here was $2,000 more expensive than the 930M that I looked at. But as I say, part of that is the horsepower increase. Part of that was having the Tweels on it, because the 930 did not have the Tweels. So far, I'm liking the Tweels. No issues with them. In 2 hours, I've mowed my road ditch out there. I hadn't had any problems with getting stuck or anything. They seem to have good traction. You see how the bottom of them's a flat spot. It leaves a pretty good footprint there. The seat, I absolutely love this seat. Again, this has the 60-inch Pro Deck 7-iron Pro Deck on it. They have a footstep on the deck for you to step on, and so far it really cuts good. I was debating on getting a 72, but because I have to mow down a road ditch out there, I was afraid that I would get hung up, because the 72-inch deck hangs out a lot further over here, and I don't think it would have worked well. It looks like this 60 is ideal for what I need. Has some cup holders. It's kind of useless because anything you put there is going to get full of dirt. Maybe you could put a bottle of water there, you know, or like a sippy cup of water or something like that. That may not, but anything else is going to get full of dirt. But this seat here, I'm not sure how much extra this seat is for this. This is the Comfort Glide, which allows this to rock back and forth, kind of like a semi-truck seat will do, a lot of those. And it's also suspension, and you can dial your weight in right here. This is an awesome seat right here. I'll sit down here and I'll show you how much it comes down. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a lot of movement right there in that seat, and it makes all the difference in the world. So that, between that seat and the Tweels, this is a pretty decent riding machine. They do make some Z-Glide front caster forks for these machines that you can buy, that's optional or extra, and they have like a torsion suspension in these. These are also the flat free front tires, so no flats on this mower here. And as I say, it's got the 31 horse John Deere is what they got it branded at, but it's actually a Kawasaki engine. And as I say, you could upgrade this to the 35 horse by doing a little work on the carburetor, but I haven't had any problems with the horsepower. The thing just absolutely cuts. It's a beast. There's the back of it. It's got counterweights on it. Assuming those are for if you're going down a hill, you know, side sloping a hill, to balance the mower so that the front end don't try to swing down and you go sliding down the hill. As I say, I got a ditch bank I cut out there, and the thing feels absolutely stable. It's better than my last mower. It's heavier. I don't know the exact weight on this. I looked at two different things. One thing said it was supposed to weigh about 1350, but there was a tag on it that said it weighed 1500 and something, was a shipping weight. So I don't know if that's full of fuel, or if one weight may not include the counterweights or whatever. I'm not 100% sure on that. We'll probably wind up weighing the thing just to find out how much she weighs, just to know, I guess. But that's what this side looks like here. And as I say, I've got like 2 hours on it. Yeah. This is how you set your deck height right here. You mash the pedal, turn this knob, unlocks it, lets the deck down, and you have your numbers here. I'm cutting on 3 inches because my yard has a bunch of rocks in it. If you go any lower, you start hitting the rocks really bad, which is not good. I like the pin style that Skag has better than this dial control. I mean, this works fine. It's just, I don't know, simpler is better sometimes. I like the simpler, you know, the pin style. But this is, I hadn't had any issue with it or anything. It's just got a, like this big dial here. And then, you know, when you turn that, it the deck sets down on these little notches in here. That's how you get your different height. But hadn't had any issues with it. I have a feeling these plastic covers right here probably not going to stay on there very long because they get packed up with dirt and stuff in there. And I've cut with it, and then I have a big air blower that I use hooked to my air compressor to blow everything out when I get done mowing. And you see how big the opening is. So that's probably a good, I don't know, 17 or 18 inches, something like that, is the opening. But that thing will absolutely cut the grass right there. As I say, this thing here is probably not going to stay on there very long. So even blowing it out, it's still got grass up under there. I didn't take the covers off whenever I blew it out, which they come off pretty easy, so it's not that big a deal. But I think most people just kind of leave them off. I might leave them on. They don't rattle or anything. The metal ones on my Husqvarna, they rattled, and I took them off. They had a little screw thing you had to screw with on those to get them to come loose. But anyway, so far I'm very happy with it, and I wish it had a Scuff Guard, and I think this is 2021 model and it don't have it. I don't know. Some of them are doing that, putting a little like the plastic or UHMW or whatever down the side of it here to keep from scuffing it up. You can see where I've already scuffed it up right there, mowing down the side of my shop slab and my fence and stuff. But that's going to get scratched up. So far, very awesome mower, and very happy with the purchase. I hope it'll last a long time. This is a very expensive mower, especially right now with everything going on and the shortage of everything. I'm sure it's probably more expensive now than it was a couple years back. But for those of you who are wondering about the price, it was about $12,000 plus tax and insurance. Out the door was $13,800 is what this mower cost. So if you're looking for a 960 M, that's what I wound up paying. Again, the 930, I could have got it with $2,000 cheaper, but it did not have the Tweels, and it had, you know, the 930 has a smaller engine, which would have been fine. I mean, it really would have, but like I say, I plan to keep this mower for a long time, and I wanted to have something that I was happy with. I didn't want it to be one of those deals that, you know, I spend that much money and then the whole time I'm using it, I wish I would have got, you know, the one with a bigger engine to have more power. And as I say, I really wasn't sure on the Tweels. I just figured that's the way they had it spec'd, and I would go ahead and try them, and then if I didn't like them, you know, I could always take them off and sell them and then put bar tires on it or whatever. But so far, within the first 2 hours, hadn't had any issues with them whatsoever, and very happy with them. Also, on these deers, the roll bar here has multiple positions here that you can tilt this back and all that good stuff, and fold it all the way down if you want to do that. But I'm going to get some more footage for you guys of actually using it or whatever, and all that good stuff. So stay tuned, and that'll be coming up shortly in one of the videos whenever I get a chance to get over there and get some decent grass for you guys to check out and see how it does. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.